investments in that. When we were in Bangladesh and India here this spring,
welcome, gentlemen. It's great to have you here. Bill, you're right. Every time I'm together with either of these representatives of these companies or Canpotex, good news ensues for the province, and we welcome you here today. I also want to say to the Reeve, we're going to talk a little bit perhaps later about family history, but more importantly, you're right. The lights are on in the province of Saskatchewan, owed in no small measure to this potash industry, and that's so important and vital for the province. Owed also to leadership, as has been highlighted by Jim generously in his comments. The leadership of the province, though, and I'm not talking about us provincially, I'm talking about our municipal leadership. We just heard from one who has a vision for this district, and here are two more. Mayor Atch from Saskatoon, who he and his team at the City of Saskatoon have done an excellent job of ensuring that that community moves forward, that it has a plan to sustain its #1 position in terms of GDP growth forecast for the nation. The City of Saskatoon owed in large measure to what you're doing there. And Mayor Eaton, we have met several times it seems lately, and also for reasons of growth, more recently with respect to the hospital in Humboldt. But we thank you and acknowledge your leadership as well. 1972, I was in the second grade in Swift Current, and Canpotex was starting. And I don't know if folks held out much hope for the success of either. But look where we are with respect to Canpotex. Canpotex, ladies and gentlemen, in addition to being the 6th in the top 100 of our companies in the province of Saskatchewan, with that fleet of 5,000 rail cars, with gross revenues in the billions and 30 offshore markets. In addition to all of that, it is in many respects the face of our province around the world. It's the face of our country around the world. And I want to tell you that when I've had the chance to travel around the world and tell Saskatchewan's story on trade missions, I have been in those customer countries. And that the face that you have put forward is a very positive one. We are very well received because of Canpotex in those purchasing countries. And Steve, it is in large measure due to the team you have. Obviously, the potash is great. You have great shareholders, great companies, but the team at Canpotex deserves some real acknowledgement here today. Its leader and its leadership team, John and Steve, represent that group today, and we just want to thank you very, very much for what you continue to do. Just a few facts, and most of the folks here will know this, but some won't. 24 different grades of potash are available for certain specific crops, and other industrial grades have been developed, obviously because of the leadership of Canpotex, for Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, for products like paint, drugs, and sports drinks. You should check the label, by the way, for those mineral waters and sports drinks, because we want you to be, whenever possible, consuming Saskatchewan potash as well. Consider the employment agency that is Canpotex in our province. At that office in Saskatoon, and I've had a chance to be there. We were there during that other thing that happened last fall, and we had a chance to visit and meet the people there. Most of them come from the University of Saskatchewan. Most of them from the Murray Edwards School of Business, who graduated with degrees in marketing and commerce, and were obviously seeking to stay here. They didn't want luggage for graduation. They want to be working here in the province, and they are for these folks that are at the Canpotex office. And we want to acknowledge and thank Canpotex for that as well. We're in a good place in the province of Saskatchewan, ladies and gentlemen. Global food demand is expected to increase by up to 80% in the next 40 years as the world's population reaches 10 billion people. Food production has to rise 2% annually, about double the current rate to meet the demands. So fertilizer is needed. I think it was Mark Twain said, the thing about land is they're not making any more of it. And it's true, and so we need to make sure that what's available for production around the world has the fertilizer it needs to produce. So we have an opportunity in this province. If we continue to focus on the fundamentals, you highlighted the importance of the quality of the potash, Jim, and the infrastructure in order for your companies to continue the amazing expansion that you're engaged in, billions of dollars and thousands of jobs. I proffer one more thing that I think the companies need. They need stability. You need, in the terms of the business environs of this province, the tax structures, the things that government can do to either help or hurt what you're already doing, you need stability. And we as a province ought to provide it, because it is creating wealth and opportunity and jobs right across the province of Saskatchewan. I understand, Steve, you're working on a 170-car train. Be about over a mile long, I think, if our math is right, based on the shorter cars you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to resolve something today to help celebrate this amazing $55 million investment. Let us resolve that when we are stuck at a rail crossing, we see the Canpotex train go by, maybe a mile long, well, probably not at a cross, well, you never know, maybe a mile long. Don't be frustrated. Don't be annoyed. Look at each one of those cars and think, there goes the Children's Hospital, and there goes debt reduction, and there goes lower taxes, and there goes jobs for the people in this RM standard. Thanks for today.